What's up, guys? My name's Skylar. I'm the founder of a retention agency called Influx Labs, and today I'm going to take you through my mini course for 2024 on how to write email copy that converts. The reason I'm making this course and the reason I think it's very important and going to be valuable to you is that email copywriting is completely different than writing for ads or landing pages. And the reason why is because the only purpose of email copy is to sell the click. Right? You're not trying to convert the reader right then and there, or even fully educate this person on what you're selling. It's your job just to get them to click through the email, to go to your landing page, and let your product page do the rest of the converting. So I'm going to show you the exact strategies that we've used for our e-commerce clients to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars using email copy that is high converting, so that you can skip all of those copywriting books and paid courses and write email copy that converts as early as today without having all of this additional information that really isn't necessary when it comes to email copy specifically. Principle 1, research before writing. So old school copywriters talk about how copy is 80% research and 20% writing. And at the time when these writers were sending out direct mail and they didn't really have immediate feedback or data on what they were sending, it was very, very important for them to get this correct the first time because it costs them a lot of money to send this mail out, and they don't really have the opportunity to, send another piece of direct mail the day after, making a correction based on the data that they received, right? So at this time, 80% research and 20% writing was true, and it made sense. But when it comes to email specifically, with the immediate data that we have, immediate feedback, and the entire internet at our disposal, this way of thinking is very outdated in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, it's still important to research before you start writing, but mainly for these two reasons. Reason 1, to understand the product and the brand that you're writing about, right? You need to have a good understanding of the things that you're selling to actually be able to write words that sell them. So that's reason 1. Number 2 is to understand the audience you're writing to, right? It doesn't matter what you're selling if you don't understand kind of the pain points and the wants and needs of the audience that you're actually selling these products to. So those are the two things that you absolutely have to research and know before you open up your Google Doc and start writing out your email copy. So 1, understand the product and brand that you're writing about, and 2, understand the audience that you're writing to. So there are a few ways that I like to do my research to know these things before I start writing. So I'm going to take you through kind of the best ways to accomplish these two things and get the research part done so that you can actually get to writing the emails. The first way to do this research is to simply study your product page. So the product page of whatever product or products you're going to be selling within the email, actually just going through and reading through this product page, understanding the product, familiarizing yourself with its features and benefits, as well as taking the same language that you're using in your product page and translating it into your email is a super effective way to do research on the things that you're selling before you actually get started writing the email. So go and study your product page, know the language that you're going to be using, and know the products that you're going to be selling. So that's number 1. Number 2 is actually to read customer reviews, right? So like I said, you have to understand the audience that you're writing to, and customer reviews is one of the best, if not the best way that you can actually understand your audience. The reason why is because within the emails that you're writing, you need to be writing the way that your target audience speaks and the specific language that they use. And there's no better way of doing this than actually reading their words on the reviews of the products that you're selling, right? You need to be entering the conversation that the people in your target audience are already having in their head. And a great way of doing that is knowing exactly how they speak by reading your customer reviews on whatever product you're going to be sending out. So go through, make sure you read your customer reviews, know the exact language of your specific target audience, and use that same language within your emails. This is going to allow you to talk more conversationally and also really relate to your audience a lot better, and they will listen to you more. So go through, read your customer reviews. Another way is actually to explore successful advertisements. So I can absolutely guarantee you that the same paid ads that are crushing for your brand, whatever brand the copy is being written for, would also make for amazing email angles. It just translates over back and forth super well. So by looking through your Facebook ads library or the Facebook ads library of a competitor, you can actually see why the copy is successful for your brand and why these ads are crushing, and then go ahead and translate these same angles, same language, and same style into the actual emails when you begin to write them. So exploring successful Facebook ads is a super great way of doing research before you write your copy. And I'm actually going to show you some examples of how to do this and why it's super helpful. Okay, so here we are on Facebook. So anytime you want to look at some ads that are successful, all you're going to need to do is search up whatever brand you want to look at, whether it's your own or a competitor of yours with a similar audience. And you're going to be able to see all of their advertisements because Facebook requires them to be public. So all you're going to need to do is go to this brand's page, go under the intro section, and actually click on the thing that says page here, right? So click on that. It's going to open this page transparency tab, and all you're going to have to do is scroll down until you see ads from this page and click on go to ads library. So once you click on go to ads library, it's going to take you here and you're going to see all of the advertisements that they've ever run. And odds are, for the ones that are active, it'll tell you if they're active up here. If they're still using them, that means they're probably performing pretty well. And this is, a great look into what's actually working. Look at these ads that are successful. You can see the exact headlines and kind of language that they're using. And the language that is successful within your target audience. So for example, sweat it out together this summer, tag your gym bestie, ready to crush those summer fitness goals, tag your gym bro below, right? This summer theme is working really well right now. And then you can kind of just scroll through and get some more inspiration. So from rest day relaxing to running errands, elevate your off-duty vibes with our brand new physical education collection. Right, so you can see the exact language that is successful on advertisements for people within your audience. So whether it's the ads that you've run before in the past that are working really well, or the ads that competitors are using that are working well right now, this is a fantastic way to do research before you start writing copy, because you can get a really good feel for, the language that is actually working, as well as some angles for your emails. So definitely do this with all of your competitors as well as your own paid advertisements, and don't reinvent the wheel, right? Take what's working, repurpose it, and use it in your own email copy. We already kind of covered this a little bit with the ads, but another great way to do research before writing your email copy is to get outside inspiration. So another way to get outside inspiration is to actually see what your biggest competitors are doing in the same industry, specifically with email. So you could either sign up to their email list to see what's working for them, which I recommend doing, or you can actually look them up on this website called milled.com, which is a place where people upload a ton of different emails from different brands, and you can actually go and see the ones that are on Milled. So let me show you milled.com and another great inspiration for email specific copy. Okay, so this is Milled, another great source of inspiration for copywriting and your research that you're doing before you write. What this is a website full of emails that people have uploaded from different brands. So what you can actually do is just search a brand that is a competitor in your industry. One of the bigger ones should be on here. And you can actually go to their profile and see some of the recent emails that they've done. So this is another great way to see the language that is being used for the copy within your industry and see what is successful. So let's just click on one of these. Magic Spoon is a cereal brand, so they talk about breakfast a lot. So wake up to waffles, pour a bowl of the classic breakfast flavor with all the deliciousness of buttery syrup, but none of the mess. Maple waffles, a sweet protein-packed start to any day. So it's highlighting their specific waffle-flavored cereal, but then they also put some social proof here, right? The smell alone drives me crazy, like eating a pancake or waffle without all the hassle. And then they have a guarantee at the end. So you can see that the way they set up their email, you can see some of the language that they actually use for this angle, and you can see, some of the reviews from their actual customers. So this milled, another fantastic way of doing research before you write. You can take a look into the industry, see the exact emails, the exact email copy that is working for other brands, and implement it in your own copy. So another important bit of research to do can be done on milled. Once you've followed these steps of research before writing, and you understand the product and brand that you're writing about, and you understand the exact audience that you're writing to, you can actually move into beginning to structure and write out your email copy. So there's principle 1. Principle 2, selling the click. So before you start writing your emails, you need to understand the intention behind what you're trying to do when you're actually writing the emails. So remember, you aren't trying to get these people to buy directly from the email. You're trying to get them a step deeper in your funnel to your landing page or your product page. Now, this doesn't mean you're not allowed to address objections along the way, build interest, and make it an easier job for the product page once they get there. That's a natural thing that's going to happen with a good email. But the important thing to remember is it isn't the goal. Right? To write a successful email, you need to train your mind to think about selling the click and only the click, right? So get that into your brain right now. The purpose of your email is not to sell. The purpose of your email is to get people to click on it, to go to your product page where they can then be sold. So make sure you make that mental switch because it's really going to help you when it comes time to write. Every email you write should be written with the principles of direct response copywriting. What this means is no filler, no fluff, just a brief message that gets the point across. When people read emails, they don't want to read a bunch, right? I mean, people in general don't love to read, and attention spans are shorter than ever. So you're just going to try to get the point across in as brief a way as possible when you're writing your email copy. So email copy should accomplish 3 things, right? Email copy that is going to convert does accomplish these 3 things. Number 1, grab attention immediately. The way that you're going to do this is with a strong headline and a strong subheader. This is the very first thing that they're going to read. So if it doesn't tell them everything they need to know about the email right then and there as soon as they open it, they are not going to scroll, right? They will not scroll if the headline doesn't interest them. So I'm going to show you an example of a live written email in a little bit where we're going to be able to go over the headline and things like that. But it's important to know that you need to grab attention immediately with your email copy with a strong headline. Number 2 of the 3 things that every email copy should accomplish is to deliver an interesting message briefly. It should be a few interesting sentences that explain the purpose of the email, right? That's all you need. You don't need paragraphs. You don't need anything that is too descriptive, right? Remember, we're selling the click, we're selling the interest. People will not read long blocks of text. So deliver an interesting message briefly. The third thing that we need to do is drive one singular action. Something that we've realized within our emails and marketing in general is that multiple choices lead to indecision, and indecision leads to inaction. So avoid this altogether by making sure that your copy drives people to take one singular action instead of splitting the focus of your messaging with multiple things that you want them to do. So if you can do these 3 things, your email copy will convert better than anyone that relies on, the 37 principles of copywriting. These are kind of proven frameworks for what we've done with our emails. These are the 3 things that you need to accomplish to have email copy that will convert highly. Everything else can kind of be thrown out the window. Okay, before we actually get into live writing an email, I want to give you guys these email copywriting frameworks. These are formulas that work every single time. So I want to give you 3 of these that you can take with you when you first started writing emails. So the first is called AIDA, and this is attention, interest, desire, and action. So the way that this would look at is in an email is that you would grab attention with a strong headline. So immediately grab attention, get these people interested right away with a strong headline. Interest, you would then build interest with the subheader below it, give a little bit more context, get them to want to read further. And then in the body copy, you would build desire for this product or desire to solve whatever problem that this product is set to solve. So you'd build desire a bit in the body copy with some benefits, and then you would go to action. So after you've gotten their attention, interested them, gotten them to desire the result that this product could get them, you then want them to take action. So this would be, your button, your call to action, get them to actually click through. So this is a formula that works super well. Still use it all the time. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel when you have formulas like this. And even the email that I'm about to show you a little later follows generally this format. So that's AIDA. Make sure you keep this in your arsenal when you're writing and use it. It works. PASS, pain, agitation, solution. So in the most literal sense, an example of this would be if you have, a product that helps solve neck pain. You would start out with their main pain point, which would be, they have a stiff neck, they can't work for long, they have trouble sitting at their desk because their neck hurts so bad. So you would give that pain, neck pain, and then you would agitate that, right? So what's the result of this pain that they're having? They can't go out and throw the ball with their son. They can't work for long hours. They're having trouble sleeping. Play up how horrible this actual problem is, empathize with them, and then you will provide a solution to it, which will be your product. So this works super well if the audience has a really strong pain point that you're solving. You can kind of take them through that, empathize with them, and then solve that problem. So pain, agitation, solution, or PASS. Make sure you save this one too. This is one of my favorites. The third and final copywriting framework that I want you to take from this video today is FAB, or feature, advantage, benefit. So again, you would have, generally a feature of your product, something that it has. Specifically, like if you have lingerie, it could be like it's silk, and then give an advantage of that. For the silk example, that would be like, a silk, if it's a silk pillowcase, that would be that it helps with acne, give some advantage of having silk, and then play up that benefit of why silk is so important, right? It helps you get rid of acne so that you can feel more confident about yourself. So give a feature about a product, give the advantage of that, and then provide a benefit of that advantage. So these are 3 frameworks that you need to take with you, and just reference these when you're writing your copy because they absolutely work and you shouldn't go in without any tools. So now that you know the intention of the email copy that you're writing and you have some general frameworks for that actual copy, I want to show you the email copy structure, which is principle 3. So the structure and this specific structure of email copy might actually be the biggest thing that has helped me write email copy faster and more efficiently. So having this structure is going to be, one of the most, if not the most important things that you learn from this video. Every single email you write should have a variation of this structure below. These right here are the key components that every single email needs to be successful and to convert at a high rate. Something you have to understand is that good copy is assembled, not written, right? Those aren't just words. What that means is that there are a bunch of individual pieces that you're going to focus on separately. And then at the end, after you've written it, all of these things are going to come together in a cohesive manner. And aside from that, breaking it up in this way actually just helps you focus on each individual section and give them each the attention they deserve to all kind of meet the standard of quality that you're setting here. So I'm going to take you through this exact structure and then show you what it looks like kind of live writing an email here and why we do it this way and how you can carry these strategies into your own copy. These are the components of every single email that you're going to write. You're going to have a subject line, preview text, headline, subheader, call to action, body copy, and another call to action. Let me take you individually through each of these and explain their purpose. The subject line and preview text come as a pair. This purpose of a subject line is to get people to actually open the email. So the subject line is what you see on the email before you actually open it within Gmail or whatever email service system you're using. So you will see the subject line, you will see the preview text. This is the only thing that you're going to see before you open the email. So it needs to be attention grabbing and it needs to make these people want to click. So that is the purpose of the subject line and the preview text. The subject line is the main one, and then the preview text is kind of a complementary one, which will be beneath the subject. So this is your attention grabber. And this is what it's paired with. These are the things they see before they open. They need to be attention grabbing. Then moving into the actual email, they open the email. What do they see? they see your headline, your subheader, and your call to action right away before anything else and before they have to scroll. So the purpose of your headline is actually going to set the tone for the entire email, right? It's going to tell you exactly what the email is going to be about, and then the subheader is going to provide a little additional context. So the purpose of your headline is to not only be informative about what the email is going to be about, but to be very attention grabbing, right? Your subject line is kind of what it looks like on the outside of the email, but once you get in, the headline serves that purpose of attention grabbing to get them to want to read further into the email. If they're not interested in your headline and subheader, they're not going to read any further. They're going to click off and they're going to be gone right there. They're not going to scroll. So it's important to make sure that your headline is attention grabbing and your subheader provides a little additional context beneath it. Then you're going to have your call to action or your button within the email. So it's important for this to be very relevant to whatever the email is about, right? If your email is about a 15% off discount, your call to action needs to reflect that and have your button be get 15% off, right? This is what people are going to click on to click through the email, and this is going to be right next to your headline and your subheader. Beneath that is where you have the actual bulk of the email or your body copy. So your body copy is going to be kind of what we had the frameworks for above, because it's going to be, the main bulk of what you're writing within your email. So here's where you actually explain what the email is about, the products, and eventually get people to click. So your body copy needs to be brief, informative, and drive action. And then beneath that, we're going to have a second button or call to action, which is going to be the same exact one as the one here, right? Like we set up before, throughout this video, we want it to drive one singular action. Don't confuse them. Don't overcomplicate it. The buttons will be the same. So this is the general structure. Every single email that you write needs to have these aspects. Now you can add on additional ones. Like if you're making this email longer, you can actually add sections below this other call to action, right? So, or below this body copy, you could have another subheader, more secondary body copy, just another section within the email. But every single email generally is going to need to have these aspects to it. Now, I know that you've seen this writing on this side, and this is actually going to be from the live copy or the live email that I'm going to show you what it looks like to write. I'm going to take you through kind of the mindset when I'm writing this email and how it actually gets done. So we're going to use Gymshark as an example. So let's get into that. Breaking the third wall here, this email that we're going to write about is going to be actually from Gymshark, and it's going to be this product. So initially we find the product that we're going to be writing about, and we, do a little bit of that research that we did earlier about what we need to write to actually get people to come to this landing page and eventually buy this product here. So here, this is Gymshark's crossover that they did with this MMA fighter, Francis Ngannou. It's a graphic t-shirt. And so this is going to be, gym wear, as well as kind of just streetwear, but it's also going to be for the people that are fans of this man, Francis Ngannou, or people that are just, fans of the way that this t-shirt looks. So we can find a few things out about this. We know it's a crossover. We know that fight fans will like it. We know that it's gym wear and it's casual wear, but then from the description, we can also see a few of these benefits, premium heavyweight cotton, oversized fit, exclusive Francis Ngannou graphic to front, and then we can actually see some language that they use within their product description. Champions aren't born different, they're built different. Get the limited edition t-shirt designed in collaboration with Francis Ngannou. So with this information that we have, we can actually start to write this email. So the subject line, like we just described, is going to be written with the purpose of getting people's attention. So how can we get people's attention with an angle that still applies to Francis Ngannou and is coherent or congruent rather with their landing page here? So they say champions aren't born different, they're built different. That's a great thing to take from there. Make the subject line, are you built different? Right. So with subject lines, we found the most successful way to do this is actually to just go curiosity driven and not give away exactly what the email is going to be about, but rather just get people curious enough to actually want to click on the email. So I think a good way to do that is with questions. are you built different? This would get people's attention right away. And then the preview text, which is, kind of complementary to the subject line, can be a little bit more specific, saying Francis Ngannou is. So with this subject line and preview text, we get the people who are just, curious enough to click with "Are you built different?" And then for the people that are fans of Francis Ngannou, mentioning this celebrity's name in the preview text is going to ensure that groups click as well. So now we have the curiosity-driven subject line, preview text to get people to open. Now we move to the headline. So the headline, right? We want to, again, get people's attention, make them want to read further. How do we do that and make it congruent with the angle? The hardest hitting gym wear, right? So this guy, for those of you who don't know, this fighter is known for, how hard he hits. So this hardest hitting gym wear is kind of a play on words with that the people who know Francis Ngannou will get. But if you don't know him, you'll also get it as well, right? It's hard hitting gym wear. It's great gym wear. So this kind of explains what it is. It's gym wear. And then the subheader comes in and gives it a little bit more context, right? Limited edition graphic tee. Tells you exactly what it is, and then also kind of gets you excited by describing how it's limited edition. So this headline and subject line pair really well together, and then we have the call to action, which we don't need to, we don't need to get super creative here. It can just be shop now, because this will be right next to the hardest hitting gym wear limited edition graphic tee. People will know that this button is to send them to this tee. So something very important to note here is that within this headline, subheader, and call to action, you know everything that you need to know about the email. For the people that open this email and don't want to read, aren't going to scroll, they know exactly what this email is going to be about, and they don't need to read anything else. They know it's the hardest hitting gym wear, they know it's a limited edition graphic tee, and on the email, they're going to see a picture of it. So they know everything they need to know. Your job is done basically for those people in these first 3 sentences here. So super important. Don't make them scroll to know what the email's about. Tell them right away. Now, for the people who don't click through or click off right here, we have the body copy. So we're going to give some additional info and persuade people to actually click through here. Again, we're going to go back to this page. We're going to take a look at some of the benefits here, right? Why would people want to go look at this? Why would people want to buy this? It's limited edition. It's designed in collaboration with Francis Ngannou. It's, heavyweight cotton, oversized fit. We can also see in these pictures that it's worn with gym wear, that he's training with it on, right? We can apply all of these benefits into the actual body copy, and we do. So wear it in the gym or out on the town, right? Gym wear or casual wear. This Francis Ngannou graphic tee, right? Announce what the product is made for style and function. So right here, we explain that it can be worn out on the gym or in the town. So this is gym wear or casual wear for style or function, right? We give those benefits right away, right here, and we explain exactly what the product is just in this matter of 2 sentences right here at the top. You don't have to be a pro athlete to train like a champion, right? This is, again, playing off of the angle of Francis Ngannou being a champion, and again, playing off of their description about how champions aren't born different, they're built different, right? So we have that here. You don't have to be a pro athlete to train like a champion. It makes you feel like a champion when you train in this t-shirt. And so that's, again, a benefit-driven line. And then we have get yours before it sells out. So the thought behind this is that it drives some urgency, right? With this, we've given benefits. We've explained why it's a thing that they would like. And then in the last line, we let them know, hey, there's some urgency here, right? If you want to get it, go get it now because it's limited edition, like we mentioned before, and it might run out. So simple. For the body copy, we have explained every single thing we need to in a matter of a couple sentences here. It doesn't need to be any more than this. This is, everything the email's about in a very brief way and enough to get them to want to click through. And then we finish it off with a call to action. It's going to be the same exact one you have up here. Drive one singular action, get them to the landing page. You can clearly see that framework that we explained earlier, ADA, in effect here. We want to grab attention with the headline. We want to gain interest with the subheader, that it's a limited edition graphic tee. And then we're going to build desire by explaining benefits of this product, right? And then we're going to drive action with our call to actions, shop now, and this urgency, get yours before it sells out. So that's the framework that we use for this email. And it's a framework that you can use to write emails that convert in general. So now that you've seen what it looks like to live write an email, some of the things that goes into it, I'm going to actually show you what this looks like within a design and how you have to think about your copy going into a design and account for that when you're actually writing your copy. So let me show you exactly what this is going to look like as a finished product. Principle 4, integrating copy with your design. When you're writing your email copy, you should be thinking about how it would look on a design and setting yourself up nicely for the design stage, right? You know that your copy is kind of going to just be something that you use to integrate within your design, kind of like an infographic. So the copy tells and the graphic shows. So for example, if you are listing something in your copy, you want to think about how these bullet points would be designed for the list. Or if you are, kind of giving a strong headline, you want to think about where that would go and how that would look, how that could be designed within the email after you've written the copy, how subheaders would look in bold letters above the body copy, right? In writing your email copy, you're laying out the format for a killer design. So the email that we just wrote above in Principle 3, sent to my designer, had him design that, and I want to show you what that looks like actually integrated within to the design. And here we have it right here. So we will actually use the zoomed in one here. We have Francis Ngannou in the graphic tee, and it says the hardest hitting gym wear, right? So there's a headline that we wrote, and you can see how that headline plays into this graphic because he's throwing a punch. He's the hardest hitting fighter. So the t-shirt with him on it is the hardest hitting gym wear. And then right away, we have that shop now call to action, right? So that's what we have as soon as these people open this email. If they want to read further, they can. If not, they can see all of this and just click through. And then we have the subheader. So this is how we integrated the subheader into this email. Limited edition graphic tee. We highlighted limited edition and we put it above the body copy. So that's how it looks in this design. Wear it in the gym or out on the town. This Francis Ngannou graphic tee is made for style and function. You don't have to be a pro athlete to train like a champion. Get yours before it sells out. So then this kind of these benefits that we gave here is also going to be represented in the design. So my designer put another picture here, put a few more benefits, 100% cotton, extreme oversized fit, premium heavyweight cotton, right? Everything that we saw on that landing page is actually delivered into this email design also as benefits. A few more pictures here. And then that final shop now button that we wrote. So it has these two cohesive call to actions. And that's that. Then you threw a footer onto it. And that's the email. So this is how it looks within a design. The email that we just wrote integrates super well with this angle, with the graphics. Again, like an infographic, the body copy tells and the design shows. So that's what the finished product looks like. I think it's pretty cool, to be honest. And I would love to see, Gymshark run this because I think it would work really well for them. So that is the overall email right here. As you can see, is a finished product. And that's why it's important to think about how your copy is going to actually integrate with your design. Because with this angle, the design made the angle work even better because of the way that the copy was actually written. So that is how you integrate your copy that you've written into your design and have a really, really cool, high converting finished product. So there you have it. That is my mini course on how to write high converting copy in 2024. If you apply these 4 principles that we went over in this video, as well as some of the frameworks and the structure of this copy, I can guarantee you that your copy and your emails will outperform the copy and the emails of the competitors in your industry that don't follow this same framework. So another thing is, if you want to keep this document for yourself personally so that you can reference it, so that you can look at it for inspiration when you're writing your own copy, and so that you can use these frameworks, what I'm going to do is put a link to this exact document that we went over in the description below that you can click on and keep for yourself. And if you are an e-com owner and you have a brand that you would like to apply all these principles for, but you just don't have the time or the ability to do it, then what I'm going to do is put a link to our website below where you can click through, book a call, and we can talk about how to set up a proper email marketing strategy for your ecom brand and apply these principles to make your emails convert at a higher rate. So go down below, click the link to my website, book a call if this interests you, and otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.